Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So this is a bit of a different video that I haven't done before, and I thought I'd try something out. Obviously in my spare time, I do a little bit of 3D printing, as we can see here behind me. Now, I did buy a brand new Flashforge, which is this bad boy that you can see here. And I was keen to actually do something really cool and different, and so that's what this is going to be. So we're actually going to 3D print the Barbarian from Diablo 2, which I found an STL file for on, I think, Cults. And I'll put a link in the description and obviously reference the creator of the STL. Anyway, let's get into that and see how this process goes. And if you guys like this video and you want to see more, and you want to see me learn how to actually use Blender so I can design stuff out of Path of Exile and Diablo, then let me know, and I'm keen to give it a whack. Anyway, let's get into the video.
Okay, so first step in this process is going to be getting into your slicer. So in my case, I'm using FlashDLPrint, which is the stock slicer for a Flashforge printer. Now, I lucked out with this STL file, and it's referred to as stereolithic file. For anyone who's not familiar with 3D printers. And basically, I got one that was pre-supported. Someone had actually designed this, and I'll put a link to their page in the description, and it has all the information that you'll need. Now, obviously, yeah, we just need to bring these in and then get this cracking. So basically, with 3D printers, we can do this in three parts. We can do this all in one go with this particular printer that I use. So we just got to move these around on the plate, which makes it a hell of a lot easier. Now this one's not going to be an absolutely enormous one, though we could potentially scale it up when we get everything in, and maybe we will make it a little bigger. So, legs, hair tail. Torso. Alright, this is going to be the bigums. Alright, so now looking at the size of this, I could probably make this a little bigger. It's just saying it's been repaired. So let's increase the scale here. So maybe we make it 130%. I'm thinking. So just move that there. Scale 130%. Scale 30%. Now obviously the bigger we make this, the longer it's going to take to print, but that's okay because it actually doesn't take too long to print on a resin printer, whereas I do have other non-resin printers which take a little longer. So that should be like moderately big enough to get started with and play around with. Now it's not a huge model, but it's a first start. We can make it bigger in a second video, and we're probably going to paint this up. So, alright, we've got everything set out and it's looking pretty smicko. So next part we just need to print, and okay. Now this will export it to my USB drive, and obviously that's, yeah, is what it is. So we're just going to do that process and then get it onto the printer, and I'll have that in the next part of the video.
Okay, so the next part of this process is actually getting your resin into your vat. And so I've already pre-prepared my vat ready to rumble. I have everything ready to print. And basically all we're going to do here is, now usually you should have gloves on when you're doing this. In this case, I'm just pouring. So you'll see you'll have a max line around here on your vat, and you'll have your resin. And basically you just want to plug enough resin in there so that you get up to at least close to the max line. You don't have to go all the way, but in this case I'm just going to pour everything I've got left and then hope to dear God that there's enough in here to be able to finish the job. And fingers crossed there will be. So the next step beyond that is we literally just put the case on top, get the print started, and then we go from there.
Alright, so I forgot one part. I forgot to print a hand, but not to worry, I have another VoxLab 3D printer sitting next to me. So we're just going to chuck that into another 3D printer. So we've got to scale it up to 130%. And this is just his fist that sort of chills out. Now this one will have to print with some supports, unfortunately. Auto support this bad boy. yeah, so we're going to plug this onto the other 3D printer and get this one started. So hopefully we'll have all the parts shortly in about an hour and a half. Alright, so hopefully sort of showing you the process was pretty cool, and this is very different to the usual videos I put up. Here's the Barbarian as he is. Now, I would like to do a bigger version, and I'm also going to paint this one up too. Bit of a fault thing, his hand just didn't make it out of the printer, and yeah, I sort of effed that up. But anyway, if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to call it Jorgen's Forge. We're going to refine this format a little bit better. I'm going to get better at editing this and whatnot. But yeah, if you guys want to see something out of Path of Exile or Diablo done next, I can have a look and see if there is an STL, and by all means I'll put all the stuff in the links. Otherwise, I might actually dig into and figure out how to design it, and that'll be an interesting live stream as it is. Anyway, until next time, like and sub to the channel. There'll be some more D4 content coming out, and the forward live streams over the next week will be delving in Path of Exile. But I'll see you guys next time, and stay filthy.